Hey, I'm going to start with you. Favorite pick or picks of the draft? I know this is a tough one because we nailed this.
It is, man. I love several of them. We got to start at pick number 1, Trey Lance. That was the guy I wanted. I'm so excited we have our franchise quarterback. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so excited about what this offense is going to look like. This offense is going to be dynamic. I've been watching 2012 Kyle Shanahan kind of to see what he did with RG3, but he's going to implement so much more stuff. His offense has expanded. So I love the Trey Lance pick to start off. Then you go round 2, pick 48. We got Aaron Banks out of Notre Dame. This guy's a monster, right? When you put on the tape, the first thing you see is he's massive. This guy is huge. And I watched the ACC championship with Clemson and Notre Dame, and that was the game I had my eyes solely focused on Banks, rep in and rep out. He's doing his job. So I really love the Aaron Banks pick. And the last, I could go down, but I'm only going to pick one more that I love, and that was the 5th round, pick 180, Talanoa Hufanga.
Yeah.
I love this guy. When I put on the tape, I hadn't seen much of him, but after we picked him and I'm watching him at USC, this guy is so instinctive, Jessie and Sam and Ben. This guy's instincts are off the charts. He's jumping.
He's a baby
around.
Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you. You see those flashes of Jamal Adams. In fact, you know how Jamal Adams creates some pass rush, right? He gets some sacks. He's a good pass rusher for his safety. And in the Oregon game, you should have seen the hezzy that Hufanga put on this right tackle. He went right around the right tackle with the hezzy, untouched, sacked the QB. It was sweet. He's a tackle for loss monster. This guy is shooting the gap on the run. He's shooting the gap, getting tackles for losses. The Hufanga pick, I love it. He did have the two broken collarbones at USC. That may be why he slipped down to the 5th. But where that's at, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. CG Ruthless says he has a little Troy Polamalu in him. Yeah, he does. You know, across really, he's almost like Polamalu's size with a Jamal Adams playing style, but again, very aggressive safeties. You said the Oregon game. I did see it. I'm an Oregon fan. So yes, I was there front and center. I was able to see it. So yeah, he's extremely good. Ben, let's go to you. What about you? What were some of your favorite picks in the draft?
So, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Bay Area Baller was saying. You know, I think there were a lot of good picks in this draft. I think you can go up and down and be excited about a lot of what went on. But if I'm zeroing in on one pick, for me, it's actually the Trey Sermon pick. And I think, you know, some people might not love a running back. People don't like taking running backs high. But what I love with Trey Sermon in that pick specifically is the Niners shifting from a primarily zone scheme team in the run game to a power team. And Trey Sermon is going to lead the attack with that. And if you look at this regime's recent history, Trey Sermon's probably the most talented running back to ever come into this room. Yeah. And I think he's just going to add that dimension that the Niners don't have of that running in between the tackles kind of running back. And I think he could eventually be a 3-down type of guy. I'm really excited just because I think more than anything with Trey Sermon, it's about the Trey Lance pick, because I think those two are going to mesh so well together. And in 2-3 years, we're going to be watching this run attack with 2 power runners from the quarterback and the running back position. And I just think it was great. And specifically with Sermon, the reason I love him is because he's something that we don't necessarily have already. Now, you could compare him to Jeff Wilson, but he's got 20 pounds on Jeff Wilson. He's heavier than he is. He's more of a bruiser than he is. And I think we need that type of guy in our backfield, especially with the way our offense is moving. So I got really excited about that pick, even though I have to be honest, I liked Michael Carter a lot. I probably thought he was going there, but hey, Trey Sermon, I just think a lot of Niners fans weren't even mocking him or considering him. And then once he was picked there and once you see the other picks, it all starts to make a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely. Well, him and Trey Lance have worked out together in the offseason, so they did build up some chemistry, believe it or not. East Bay Chris says that Sermon is the pick of the draft. He's Debo, but as a running back. Looks like Amin says, my only issue with Trey Lance pick is that will he be a Lamar type? Instead of looking downfield, will he rely on his athleticism? Again, Tubular Bike, Amin, CG Ruthless, all of them echo the sentiments there. They love Sermon. So, yeah, very good choice. Sam, what about you?
So let's talk about two guys. First guy is Hufanga as well. As Bay Area Baller said, this dude is a baby Jamal Adams. And speaking of that, one thing I found kind of funny about that with the tape, I mean, the tape looked like Jamal Adams. And then you look at on paper, both guys are 6'1". Jamal Adams is 214. Hufanga is 215. That just screams baby Jamal Adams. And as Jessie said, Troy Polamalu, both USC safeties, both have long hair. I'm not going to go any further with that. The one thing he does need to work on, the reason he fell to the 5th round, his tackling skills, sometimes he overcommits a little bit, and his routes to the ball have been very inconsistent throughout his career. Those are the two things he needs to work on a little bit. But I think when you're behind two guys like Jaquaski Tart and like Jimmy Ward, I think that can help fix that right away. And that's why he went 5th round. You're looking for a developmental guy. Hufanga is just that. And I think out of all the 5th round picks we had 3. He definitely has the best chance to be that guy, in my opinion. The other guy I want to talk about, our 3rd round pick, not Trey Sermon, but Ambry Thomas. I wanted a gritty cornerback going into this draft, and Ambry Thomas is just that. And you have this inconsistency issue. That's why he fell to the 3rd round. But when he is on top of his game, he is a beast, man. And I think that's what you want to see in Ambry Thomas. And that really reminds me of Ahkello Witherspoon. And I think a lot of people were looking at Ambry Thomas. They saw a lot of Jason Verrett in him from what I've seen. And I want to watch a bit more film on this guy as well. But from what I've seen so far, this guy's a gritty cornerback. This guy can be a developmental guy or probably start over Mosley. We'll have to see what they do with that. But Ambry Thomas, I think, could make some massive contributions to this team in the very near future. But overall, I really love those drafts. Those are the two guys I want to highlight. Obviously, Trey Lance, we've talked about that a lot. And I've already said I would love it, and I do love it. So I'll leave it at that.
For sure. You guys know I was pounding the table for Trey Lance, so of course I love that pick. But I'm going to mention a couple guys that haven't been brought up yet. Elijah Mitchell. So this is a guy with 4.3 speed, but it's 218 pounds. Good luck stopping that in a Shanahan offense. Then another guy, I said I'm an Oregon fan, Diamador Lenore. So a lot of people were hating on this pick. I love it. I think he's got great coverage skills. He's going to fit in real nice. He may end up playing in a nickel spot, but overall, I love what he brings to the table. So those are the ones that I'm probably most excited about. And since they weren't mentioned, I had to give him a little bit of love.
You know why Diamador Lenore is being hated on? Because people on Twitter, I've been seeing this one clip of Ayuk absolutely burning him. And they're like, oh, that's our new guy. There's no way he's going to do well in the NFL. So right. Give this guy a chance, man. We took him in the 5th round. He could be a nickel. From what I've heard, that's probably going to be the plan. Is what I would assume. He's a much better nickel cornerback than outside quarterback. But you got to give this guy a chance. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, both can be true, by the way. You can't sit here and tell everybody in the world that Ayuk's a #1 receiver. He's going to be an absolute baller, top 10 in the league, and then get mad at the corner that you drafted because he got beat by him. I don't know if you know this, but Ayuk, if he's going to be that good, is going to burn a lot of NFL corners. It's okay. Corners get beat. It's a part of their job.